Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, yesterday Malik Willis absolutely dominated at his pro day. Okay, he lit it up. The accuracy was there, the overall arm strength, arm power deep down the field was there, footwork, right, under center, play action, stuff like that, throwing on the run. Malik Willis really showed out. And of course, you can push back and say, it's a pro day. It's scripted, it's a controlled environment, he knows exactly what's coming, and there's no defense, right? It's not even a 7-on-7 type of thing either. It's literally just throwing two open targets. Of course, you can say that, and it is just a pro day at the end of the day, but with that said, everybody has them. Everybody goes through pro day experiences, and if we think back to last year, Zach Wilson's pro day, during that week, that's what really started the momentum with the New York Jets and Zach Wilson actually becoming a reality. So with Malik Willis absolutely lighting it up, I wanted to talk about really four scenarios here, four possibilities that we could be looking at with the NFL draft, how Malik Willis dominating his pro day yesterday affects. So let's talk about the first scenario here. It's pretty obvious. The Lions fall in love with Malik Willis and actually draft him at spot number 2. Now, although I do think it's unlikely at this point, just because the Jared Goff connection, the Jared Goff contract, and how that front office feels about Goff with Brad Holmes and everything like that, again, I do feel like it is unlikely, but hey, we can't rule it out at this point. Malik Willis provides insane upside. Okay, and that really, we're taking a look at the Lions. Is Jared Goff realistically going to be there for the next 10 seasons, 8 seasons, 5 seasons? Probably not, right? Probably not. So Malik Willis just has that superstar potential, right? That ginormous upside that gets coaches fired up. If you build and structure your offense around Malik's skill set, this guy can be really, really good, really effective at the next level. Again, physically, the arm strength is there, the accuracy, the mobility. I mean, this guy is a runner. Very, very difficult to bring down. He actually had 86 forced missed tackles, which is absolutely insane. I mean, defenders just cannot get this guy down. They cannot tackle Malik Willis. It is insane. He is a real threat with the football in his hands, or I guess in his arms, running down the field. He's very elusive, very fast, very elusive. So that's just the physical side of it. But the mental side, he seems eager. He seems like he's a great teammate. Leadership is there. Everybody raves about Malik Willis. He absolutely killed the Senior Bowl process, did a great job at the combine. And then, of course, like we're talking about now, the pro day. I mean, there's a lot to like with Malik Willis, but here's the ultimate question here. Is it enough to convince the Detroit Lions to take him with that second overall pick and move on from Jared Goff? Now, maybe there's a scenario where the Lions take Willis, they keep Goff, and they play him for a year, and then Malik has that year on the bench, much like a Patrick Mahomes or something like that. That's a real possibility as well. But I think for me, if I'm dead honest with myself, I'm looking at all the holes on this Lions roster, at safety, at pass rush, at linebacker. I still kind of want to add a wide receiver. If I'm Detroit, even though I like some of these acquisitions with DJ Chark and Josh Reynolds, bringing him back, same with Khalif Raymond. But, again, I'm looking at Detroit. I think it's a tough sell to take a quarterback at spot number 2 with all these holes. And could it happen? For sure. I could definitely see something like this going down because they do have that high second round pick. They do own the 32nd pick as well. So you do have a little bit of a leash to maybe swing for the fences on a pick or two. But ultimately for me, I can't see the Lions doing it. Could it happen? Sure. I just don't think it will. So the second scenario here is where the Detroit Lions actually move back in the NFL draft. There's been multiple reports that the Lions could move back, that they're open for business, and you can make an argument that it could even be the preferred choice of Brad Holmes and the Lions front office to really fill out this roster, not just add talent, but also add depth, and maybe even some future picks. Okay, so the Lions trading back could be in play here. Again, with Malik Willis just smashing the pre-draft process, Senior Bowl, Combine, and now Pro Day, you stack that with the interviews, you stack that with ceiling, right, what he can do, you stack that with the game tape, and you're looking at a pretty complete package so far. And there's a ton of teams that need quarterbacks, okay? And I know it seems right now, as far as like the free agency market is concerned, more so looking at Baker Mayfield, like the market is shrinking, the market is drying up. But hey, when you're everybody's interested in first round rookie quarterbacks with high ceilings. I think Pittsburgh would be interested. I think Seattle might be interested. Seattle has those extra draft picks from dealing Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos. I mean, there's a lot of teams that you can mention, even teams like the New Orleans Saints, the Atlanta Falcons, who just traded away Matt Ryan, and the Carolina Panthers. And quick little side note, Matt Rule and Ben McAdoo were actually at Malik Willis's pro day. There wasn't a big head coach turnout at the Liberty Pro Day, but Matt Rule was there, front and center, seeing watching every single throw. And it's really interesting because Carolina continues to strike out on quarterbacks, right? Whether it was Matthew Stafford last year, acquiring Sam Darnold, and he's not the long-term option, or arguably even the short-term option for the Panthers. But even this season, or this offseason, right? Kirk Cousins didn't work out. They failed to land Russell Wilson, couldn't get Carson Wentz. Aaron Rodgers is staying in Green Bay. Matt Ryan, obviously in Indianapolis now. Baker Mayfield still floating around. Hey, he could be moved, but a report came out yesterday that Carolina is actually not interested in Baker Mayfield. So Malik Willis to the Panthers. Maybe do the Panthers try to move up to spot number 2, forcing the best players on the board to slot down for the Jets at 4? That could be really, really interesting. I don't want to put it past Detroit to move back if there's a fair offer on the table. Okay, so scenario number 3 here, instead of the Lions trading back, it's the New York Jets that move back. Now, why would a team specifically want to trade with the Jets to move up from Malik Willis? Because the teams around them are potential threats, right? The New York Giants at spot number 5, you can make an argument. Daniel Jones is not the long-term option in New York. Brian Daboll might want to go get a physically gifted quarterback, much like he did a couple years ago with Josh Allen in Buffalo. They have 2 first-round picks, much like the Lions. They could afford to take a swing on a quarterback and get their guy in-house. Right behind them, the Carolina Panthers, the team that we were just talking about. Behind them at spot number 8, we have the Atlanta Falcons, another team we just talked about. And at 9, the Seattle Seahawks. So essentially, you're jumping all of the threats at quarterback, outside of course the top 3, but nobody's really, Jacksonville's not going to be taking them, and Houston's probably not going to be taking them. So it's really Detroit at 2. If he gets by, Detroit at spot number 2, Joe Douglas could very well be receiving calls. And we've, much like Brad Holmes in Detroit, we've had reports saying that if Joe Douglas gets an offer and the price is right, he could very well move back. Okay, so it's an option to think about here. And last but not least, scenario number 4, no trade involved here. He's actually just the pick. Right, so the Panthers select Willis at 6. He's gone at 9 by the Seattle Seahawks, 8 to the Atlanta Falcons. In turn, pushing quality players down the board, giving Joe Douglas and this Jets organization more opportunities for players that they like. More opportunities to draft players that they like, rather. I look at this Jets team. I love what we're doing in free agency. DJ Reed, Laken Tomlinson, the tight end position, backup quarterback, safety. We have done a lot of really, really solid things, but it's not a complete project. This is not a complete team. And I'm looking at the AFC East. I'm looking at the AFC as an entire conference. We have got to get better. Okay, so I'm rooting for Malik Willis to go in the top 10, right? If he's the pick at spot number, let's just say 6 to Carolina, that's a team that has a problem at offensive line, specifically tackle. If the Jets are targeting tackle with the 10th overall pick, maybe the Jets went, cornerback at 4 or edge at 4, Kayvon Thibodeau falls, whatever the case may be. We want to target a Charles Cross at 10, something like that. He could very well be there. Okay, because one option is now off the board in the Carolina Panthers. So although all of these situations are hypothetical at the end of the day, I do feel like it's important to kind of explore every single route, every single possibility that could unfold on draft night, because you don't want to be in a situation as an NFL GM where you don't see something coming. And now you're on the clock. This is a timed event. You don't want to be in a position where it's like, whoa, that came out of the blue. We weren't expecting that. Now we have to make a decision that's going to impact everybody's job here. It could make or break my job, my career. So it should be crazy. But look, at the end of the day, Malik Willis, he has that upside. I like Malik Willis a lot. I like him a lot more than a lot of quarterbacks in this class, and I think if he lands in the right spot, with a good coaching staff, and they commit to him, they commit to his skill set, he could be a very, very good player. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you think Malik Willis, not only just his pro day, but his entire pre-draft process has affected the New York Jets draft in any way? Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.